Hello everyone, I'm Brian and welcome back. So I thought about this for like half a second longer. So the middle section, I was saying in the last video that it's unchanging. And I guess that is true actually. The body, the mind, and the intellect changes. The object, the emotion, and the thoughts change. But the perceiver, the feeler, and the thinker never changes. That middle section doesn't change. It almost makes it seem like that's a Turiya, because the Turiya illuminates the perceived, the Turiya illuminates the emotion, and the Turiya illuminates the thinking. I don't know if that's even mean anything. It could mean absolutely nothing. But that's just something that I perceive. The body does change. The observed or the object changes. The mind change. The emotion that you feel changes. You could be happy or sad 1 second. The intellect changes. The amount of knowledge you've gained and what your thoughts are changes based on whatever's going on. But the perceiver, the feeler, and the thinker does not change. I don't know if that means anything. I'm just throwing that out there because I thought about that a half a second longer after I ended the last video, and I was like, well, I'll just throw it out there just to see what people think. Let me know if there's anything, if I even said anything there. Alright, let's continue on.
Hey, everybody. So then the great Rishi said, I can understand the animals and the mineral world, the plant kingdom feeling that way. You man who has got capacity to think, why don't you analyze and understand that nothing is permanent in this realm of time? Everything is changing. Play with the change. Just as in the dance hall, you enjoy the dance. Why? It is constant movement. Dance is not standing here. Time be moving. So she steps on you and you step on her. Enjoy! But nobody will fall down because each is hanging on to the other. Similarly, hang on to the world outside. Get crushed, never mind. Enjoy it. In a sport, in a game, don't you think you are panting, you are getting exhausted, and yet you say that, I enjoy it. Beautiful game. Beautiful game. You physically suffer, but mentally you enjoy. Why? It is a sport, it is a game. I wanted it. In the same way, enter the world. Live through the joys and sorrows of life, but consider it as a sport. Why? You are not expecting anything permanent here. I knew that nothing is permanent. My husband is not permanent, my wife is not permanent, my children are not permanent, my business is not permanent. Nothing is permanent. But when it is there, I play. When it is not there, I play. Just because I am losing, is there a sportsman who has never continued the sport? See? So when I lose, I say that beautiful stroke. Ah, nice. And in case I win, I say better luck next time. Today you are not in your mood. I know you will always beat me down, but better luck next time. This is called sportsmanship. So sometimes I win, sometimes I lose. Why are you worried? Unless you are lose somewhere else. Play the game till the end. Think? So, the great Rishi said, why is it that these people, man, suffering until because of his ignorance? He refuses to make use of his intellectual capacity to analyze. He is very good in analyzing the outer world. Science, he progresses, but when he turns upon himself, he feels unhappy and incapacitated, as it were. He never turns his attention to it. Vimudhaha nanupashyanti. Visheshena mudhaha. Supreme idiots never understand this great truth. Gita says, supreme idiot means not that you are incapable of wisdom, but you refuse to think. What can you do? You are so preoccupied with the world of seeking a permanent happiness amidst impermanent things. So fully engaged that your not attention cannot be turned away. When they have thus understood it, they realized that so long as I am identified with the body, mind and intellect, I am in that realm of time, change. So if I want a changeless state of bliss and happiness, I must go beyond the change. Beyond change means beyond the time. Oh, I see. And go beyond BMI, you realize the timeless, the permanent, the eternal, the immutable, the blissful. Okay, Swamiji. This Sunday. Now today I have got office. This weekend I am going to meditate and go beyond the BMI and realize the Brahman. And Monday onwards I will tell you all about Brahman. This weekend I am visiting Brahman. And you enthusiastically declare to the family that, look, tomorrow Sunday, see that the children go out and play. And you also keep quiet. Don't break saucers and plates and make noises here. Not even the bathroom flush should be wet. I am going to meditate. So the poor wife thinks that this is a new trick. Yeah. And your early morning onwards, children have started asking you, Papa, when are you meditating? Not now. After breakfast. Or else you know that breakfast idea will disturb me. So you take breakfast, everybody gives breakfast, and everybody has got a strange look on their eyes, looking at you that you are going to meditate. I don't know what is meditation, you don't know, but... And you enter. Children have been sent to the neighbor's house. There they may suffer. You are all right. And then when you are entering the room also, you told the wife. The wife also. She doesn't want to sit down because the cushions may make a noise. You go into the room, lock the room. What are you going to do? Go beyond the BMI in pure meditation. You sit down and you have heard that the great mantra is Hari Om, and you have started chanting in your mind Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Then the body said, hi, it is too hard. So immediately I said, okay. I got up. The seat is not all right. So put a cushion there. And in the cushion you sat down. And again, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Then your skin told you, I think it is too hot. And you said, yes, it is hot. So you got up, put on the fan, the ceiling fan, and you are sitting there. Hari Om, Hari Om. Suddenly the skin said, it is too fast. So you got up, slowed it down, sat down. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Then it is that the vertebral column is saying that if there is a cushion behind, it will be nice. So you get up and get a cushion and to support your back. Again you sit down. Hari Om, Hari Om. Look, you are a slave to all the demands. That is the point.
I will say, I did try just trying to not think about anything. I was laying down in bed and just laying there. And then, like, every little thing would distract the crap out of me. My stomach growling, or like little the hairs, like I guess whenever your hair gets ruffled and they start untangling, you can feel all of that. Like, stop it. And then I don't know, the noises outside, the noises of the house. It's just like constant. I can't focus, and that's whenever he was talking about that, it just reminded me of that moment. I try to just not think of anything and try to experience, no thoughts, but just everything. I just notice everything, like hyper aware of everything. So that one time that I experienced whatever that was, I accidentally went into that. I don't know how I got into that. I don't know if that's truly Turiya or not, but it's just I can't. I mean, when I'm trying, I can't get into it. I didn't even try that time. It just happened. I'm not saying that I did experience it. It's a moment that I believe I've experienced one time before, and I've not experienced it since.
So long as you are a slave, you will not be allowed to go out. Why? Because the BMI can no longer persecute you. You are trying to become master of them. They are now today masters in you. They don't want to give up their chairs. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. I think there is coffee decoction in the kitchen. And that woman is so careless that she will throw it away in the wash basin. 1 cup of hot coffee and then meditate. How you get up, you open the door, and the lady is worried. Now what is coming out? It must be God himself coming out. No, nothing. And you make directly to the kitchen. Think of the situation. So she comes behind. Seva bhav. What do you want, honey? I will give you. No, I don't want anything. But I thought that if there is decoction there, then don't throw it away. Nowadays the prices are very high. A cup of coffee. You go inside. Do you think that you can? The more you try to meditate, the more the mind will persecute. At this moment, even though I am allowed to say that this body, mind and intellect are mine, honestly speaking, I belong to them. I am an utter slave. The local constitution may give you all the freedom. It is the freedom of the slaves. None of us is free. All of us are utter silent slaves, hapless slaves, miserable slaves to our own physical, mental and intellectual persecution. See? If once the mind has to turn, you cannot, it is not possible for us to stand apart. We are whipped by the BMI. I am a diabetic. I am not allowed to eat sweets which I love. People invite me for bhiksha. An Indian
Torture.
bhiksha means a feast, and in the feast in India, unless there are 3 or 4 types of sweets, it is not a feast. They invite me. Everybody is in
And he's suffering.
taking their own food. Buffet. And that was the Swami's special table. Everything is kept there. Because we don't know what the Swami would need, so everything is kept. As I am going nearer the table, I see 3 beautiful, enchanting sweets, homemade sweets. My body says, Swami, PFT, there is beautiful sweets. This is the time. These people don't know. They have presented to you. Eat. This is a chance. It's in the body. No, I says, okay, we will do it. Let us finish the other part of the food and then the sweet in the last, so that this will linger in your mind. Only Gujaratis can take sweets in between to remind them that there is sweet in the world. We want to take it last so that it can linger it in you. And you start taking things. And everybody is trying to put something in your plate, and therefore your attention must be there, or else you will be drowned in food. So then you are there at that. And after finishing it, last item, when you come, you look at that beautiful sacred place on your left where the sweets were. All of them have disappeared. Why? Even though the host doesn't know that I should not take sweets, the useless ones that come with me, they are called the devotees. They, to save the Swami, they take it away. Supposing they are there, and the body says, come on now at least. I lift it. My mind says, don't. And the intellect repeats to me, which all the doctors, specialists all over the world has again and again repeated to me, that this is the most beautiful disease that a man can get, because there will be no pain at all. But slowly it destroys all your organs one by one. And thereafter a time would come when liver is not working. And if liver is not working, then the kidney fails. The kidney fails, then the pancreas is long ago gone. And then slowly, kidney fails. Therefore liquid water in you is not going. And therefore it will flood in your own lungs. And until at last you will die in your own juice. No pain, but you just die. All these they have told me. All these the intellect has understood and remembered. And so the intellect says, don't do that.
The mind
says, please. And the body says, come on. Think. Now, if I satisfy the body demand and eat it, let us say, I ate half of it. That day I have to live that day, isn't it? Now I can't run away from my mind and intellect. They are constantly with me. During the day, let us say that I was so busy that I have no time to listen to my mind. Okay, but I had to go to bed. The moment my head hits the pillow, the mind says, why did you do it? And the intellect repeats all that what the doctors have said, that your liver is crumbling, your kidney is stopping, your eyesight is going, your ears you will never be able to hear, you will be a vegetable. All that because you ate it. Now the sugar has gone up in your blood. And the blood. Both of them kick me. And I can't run. If anybody else is criticizing, you can do something. This is no remedy. Because it is your own mind and intellect telling you. These two start persecuting. Supposing I did not eat, mind congratulates me, intellect is so happy, but my body, aren't you ashamed, Swami? Are you not a Swami? What is wrong if you eat? You will die. Stupid! What an avidya you have got, ignorance you have got. Don't you know that since you are born you have to die? Why don't you die sweetly? What is wrong in it? You should have it and should have. So, if I don't eat, body criticize. If I eat, mind and intellect together as a combination. Anyway, I get the whip. See? What can I do? This, I am giving one example. In all examples. That girl, that drink, that party, anything, that house, that property. The body wants it, the mind wants it, or the intellect wants it, and then the other two says no. The mind wants it, that beautiful house. The intellect says no, it's very costly. No. And the physical body says the present house is quite all right. No. The mind, no. You are always like that. You will never do anything that I want. You are unsympathetic, you have no imagination. If I got that house, this house, what are you going to get even if you sell it? But that house, after 3 years, it becomes so... That is a beautiful place and beautiful house, and therefore prices will go up, and then you can put the whole money, $1 million in the bank, all because my advice you follow. Let us purchase that. Is it not? Thus, be persecuted by the BMI and the tantalizing, engaging, beautiful, enchanting objects of the outer world. The poor fellow the individual has no peace of mind, buffeted by these two. The poor individual goes up and down, searching for a permanent happiness. When thus the great acharyas found that, they gave the prescription, go beyond the BMI and reach the goal, the destination, the acme of evolution. The God state is all blissful, all perfect. Then he found that the people are not able to. Naturally, therefore, then the trouble started, the inquiry started. What gives the BMI such a might and power that they can persecute me? They belong to me, but I have no control over them at this moment. When a vehicle, these are my vehicles for me to express in the world outside. When a vehicle is not under your control, it is better not to drive, isn't it? A motorcycle or a car, if it for a single split moment go out of your control, it's called skidding. You know the tragedy? You will wake up in the nearest hospital along with half a dozen others. They cursing you, because they all fell into the accident because you skidded. Is it not? Skidding is a place when the vehicle is not under your control. The vehicle by itself had decided to go to the left and then change the mind to the right. This is called skidding. One skid, half a dozen other buses, other cars also involved. You break a few bones in this world at this moment. Is it not that every one of every moment skidding? None of us have any control over the equipment. So I skid on you, you skid on him, and he skid on me, and all of us skid on to another. And then you say that in samsara, in the world of plurality, there is no peace. So you organize a UNO to bring peace, world peace. The more they struggle to bring world peace, world becomes pieces. Why? It remains in yourself. your self-discipline, your ability to control your own equipment. Therefore, when they found that it's so powerful, they started inquiring, where are they getting their power to persecute me? As a result of that investigation, they
Sorry, should have paused it a little bit sooner. But when he's talking about how they created the UN and create world peace, but they try to create so much peace that the world cracked in two pieces. And this is where I thought about this moment. I figured maybe he'd say a little bit something deeper than that, this Swami, but he did not. At least not yet, maybe. But I thought of the time of the reason why I said Sadhguru cheated, because he actually had the ultimate answer, which was inner peace. If everyone had inner peace, I guess, and what he's saying basically, the controls of your faculties for BMI, then there would not need to have UN. We would not be causing harm to each other. But and according to him, because we don't have control over this, we're constantly skidding all over the place, that we're constantly in conflict with each other because we have no control over the vehicle that we have, which is what Sadhguru was saying again too about the instruction manual. Did you read the instruction manual for this? But yeah, I haven't said anything in a while because he was telling a lot of stories. Definitely need to pause it for a second there. But yeah, anyway, all that kind of related in what I thought of at that moment. But yeah, inner peace. Hopefully, inner peace is the answer that I say that Sadhguru cheated, because honestly, I could not think of a better answer, and he definitely, I do believe that now. Well, then too, but yeah, I don't know if there's any other solution, even like a halfway solution. I think that is genuinely true. Reading the instructions of your body, your mind, and your intellect. We all definitely need to have control over that to have true peace, true inner peace. Because right now the ego in terms of the Western way. Whenever I heard ego with Swami, the other Swami, I'm sorry, God, his name is so long. I can't even remember it. But anyways, I thought of like, oh, you have a big ego. In a sense, it's kind of the same. But when they say ego, I thought of that. But yes, because if our egos are getting in the way, whether it be the Western version of ego or the Hindu ego, as in the waker, dreamer, and sleeper, or the waker, that it's the reason why we're so much in conflict and to have peace in the world.
discovered this factor which is represented by the letter V, and it is called Vasanas. Vasana. There is no corresponding English word for it, because in the modern psychology they have not gone into these depths. They are only in the surface only. The conscious mind, the unconscious, subconscious mind, and recently they have accepted the unconscious mind.
Yeah, I kind of figured maybe psychologists deal with more along the lines of chemicals in the brain, and external stimulation. I've never not done any research on psychology or psychologists, even though I kind of wanted to get into that field a little bit. But as far as I can tell, with at least America, it seems like drugs is the answer. So I would not be surprised if some psychologists do prescribe drugs. But sometimes that is in fact helpful to kind of calm your mood swings, but that's not the ultimate answer, obviously. And then trying to find out what the real issue is and finding a solution for that. Even though I will say, so far, what every wisdom person that I watch, in a sense, has the true solution. It is so simple yet so difficult, and that is taking well, that is kind of in a sense taking responsibility for your actions, or understanding that it is your intellect that's causing the suffering, because you associate yourself with your feelings. That is a very difficult concept, I think it is, for a lot of Western people to grasp. Even in a sense myself, kinda. But the way I solve that issue is not to separate myself from the emotion, but more along the lines to understand it. And when I understand it, it's not as bad anymore. But again, I think their way is definitely a much the ultimate solution, obviously, but just a very difficult concept to understand. My solution is just to understand it, which is much simpler, but doesn't get rid of the pain. It makes you understand it. At least that's how I do with my life. That's how I've relatively stayed calm and happy throughout my life.
All these three are springing forth from the very bottom, the depth, psychological level, and that is what you call as vasana. Vasanas are inclinations that are left on you due to your past thoughts and actions. They are the habits left over, channels of thinking into which all your thoughts at any given moment is ready to flood out. That direction, that which gives the direction and purpose of all your thinking personality. The vasanas determine the contours of your physical, intellectual, and emotional personality. These are the tendencies gathered by each one of us as we came along the avenue of time in our march of evolution. Instead of thinking in terms of evolution, which is rather difficult for a student suddenly to remember or think of this life only. You and I are at this moment the product of our past. In the past, during this life, whatever we have thought of and acted, we are today channelized to repeat. It's called a habit. The smoker cannot live without smoking. The drunkard cannot live without drinking. The coffee lover cannot live without coffee. Why? These are all habits that have been formed. At that right time, all your thoughts run in that direction. You cannot but search and discover and satisfy. Think. These are called tendencies. Tendencies describe or determine our present personality and field of function. These are unmanifest. Manifest is that which can be perceived by the body, felt by the mind, thought of by the intellect. These are all manifest. But this is unmanifest. Just as unmanifest flowers in that flowering bush in winter or in deep summer, the flowers are not there. But when the springtime comes, all the unmanifested flowers bloom forth. Similarly, these are the silent tendencies in each one of us, which manifest through us, and that is called our personality, our history, our life.
Oh, okay. So this looks like it's been just cut from, I guess, a really long speech of his. I hope this is the right BMI chart that everyone was talking about. So, let's see. So far, the thing that I got that seems to be common with a lot of other wisdom people, I call them wisdom people, I don't know what else to call them, gurus or swamis, and I think there might be another name I'm forgetting, but anyways, teachers, I guess, as well, is that we definitely need to have, he doesn't teach separation, at least, well, maybe he does, but a different way. How we are a slave to BMI, and the V. I think, I don't know if the V and is similar to the same, but I'm making an assumption that it is. And we are the V, and we need to have that separation between our BMI so that we're not constantly suffering in the world. So that's the constant that I see between all of them. And again, about the example earlier, yeah, I do believe, I thought about it a little bit more after saying about how I do understanding and separation being the ultimate goal, so that you can, I guess a lot of people in this world, whenever they suffer, they don't understand it, but they try to solve it. And they get frustrated sometimes, even after they solve the problem, just because they don't understand it. And it will end up happening to them again because they never understand it in the first place. I don't know if a lot of people try to understand the situation that they're in or what caused the situation that they're in, and they end up repeating themselves in the same suffering. Where I try to understand it, and if I suffer it again, at least I can handle it a lot better because I already have prior experience and prior knowledge of what's causing that suffering. And I could try to prevent it again, but that doesn't always guarantee that you prevent the same suffering from happening to you. But at the very least, if it happens the second time or third time, you are better equipped to deal with it. The separation would be, I mean, you would have no I would assume that maybe understanding would be like no understanding's the everyone's level. Level 2 would be understanding the problem, but you're still feeling the emotion. And I think level 3 probably is that separation of the emotion, but also the understanding. I think you have to have that No, you don't have to have the understanding to have that separation of the emotion, but I think it's better to have an understanding so that you don't keep constantly having to separate yourself from the emotion. Or at least not have too many suffering instances in your life. Anyway, that's my thoughts about that. So anyway, this is the final part for Swami Chinmayananda explains, and there goes the Anayanda. Oh, sorry, Ananda. Is it Ananda or Yananda? That's that last part that all the other Swamis have as well. Oh god, I forgot what it means. Like, I think bliss or happiness. Explains Vasanas through BMI chart. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.